school has a designated day of the week that supplies are ordered and delivered. To determine your school's day, look at your SOP manual in the Forms section, and then turn to the Supply Order Standard Operating Procedure. Find your school's name from the list so you know what day of the week to expect supplies and when to order supplies. Supplies are to be ordered on the same day of the week they are delivered. This is what the supply order form looks like. Each school will receive a packet of supply order forms from the Food Production Center office every couple of months. Your school supply forms are pre-printed with your school's name, date to place the order, date of delivery, and supply usage dates. The date to place the order is the date you must fax the order to FPC. Date of delivery is the date the order will be delivered. Supply usage dates are the dates the supplies on the order will be used. Supply orders are to be placed 2 weeks before the order is delivered. In this example, you can see that the order is due on October 24th and they will receive the order on November 7th. This order would be for the dates of November 8th through the 14th. These dates are important tools in determining how much to order. We will discuss this in more details later. This form lists items that can be ordered. They are in alphabetical order by each item. Each item has a stock number. The order by column is a description of how the item will come, and the amount per column is the quantity in the order by description, as in case or pair, and how many are in the package. For example, aprons come in a box with 100 aprons in the box. When filling out the supply order form, you would record items on these two lines: how many items you have on hand at the school and how many is needed. If you lost the supply order form for a particular date, you can call FPC to send you a new one. In your SOP manual at the school, under the Forms section, in the Supply Order Standard Operating Procedure, a blank copy of this supply order form is located here. Also located in this procedure is pictures of all the supplies you can order on this form. So if you don't know what a supply is called, but know what it looks like, refer to the pictures to help you out. When completing the supply order, it helps to stay organized. Keep your supply orders in your SOP notebook, or in a separate notebook, or in a folder, a drawer, an envelope, or a clipboard. Keep them in a place that helps you stay organized. You may need to keep upcoming orders separate from the orders you have already placed to help you stay more organized. Now, since we discussed which each item on the form is and how it will be used, let's talk about how to complete an order. Once you know what day you receive your supply delivery, as I explained earlier, it is the same day that you need to place your next supply order. Find the upcoming supply order by looking for the date to place order on top of the form. If it has today's date on it, it is the correct form. Next, look at the supply usage dates. Notice that this supply order is for 5 days. January 3rd through 9th, so we'll need to order enough supplies for 5 days. Notice this supply order form covers more days, most likely due a break in school days. This form tells us that we need to order supplies for 8 days, February 25th through March 5th. It is important to pay attention to this detail, as missing it can cause you to run short on supplies. The first step in determining an amount needed per day or per week is to fill out this form, the Supply Orders Cheat Sheet form. This form lists commonly ordered supplies. It does not include every single supply listed on the supply order form. This form is a good tool for any employee to help them complete the supply order. A copy of this supply order cheat sheet can be found in your SOP notebook under Forms at the end of the Supply Orders section. To use this form, think about how many students you serve at each meal period. This helps you to determine how much supplies you use on a daily or weekly basis. Here are some examples. If you serve about 235 breakfasts a day, then 235 breakfast boats would be needed every day. There are 500 boats in a case, so if you use 235 of the 500, then you're using 0.47 of a case each day. I figured that by dividing 235 into 500. If you have 2 FSAs at your school, you only need 3 hairnets a day, 1 at breakfast and 2 at lunch. Considering there are 100 hairnets in a box, that box will last about 33 days. If you know your school goes through about 1.5 cases of 6-ounce foam cups in a week, write that down. Things like aprons, hairnets, pan liners, and other condiments are not used quite as fast and do not need to be ordered on every supply order. You may need to seek the help of others like the latchkey and pre-K staff and the custodians to help you determine how much trash can liners, white balls, or drinking cups to order, as they may use these supplies as well. Next, gather up a few more items to help you complete the supply order form. You'll need the supply order you just received, the supply order to be received next week, and the current supply order you are placing now. Don't forget to grab or reference your supply order cheat sheet that has been filled out. You will also need the cycle menu calendar or your meal service records to complete the supply order, something that will list the upcoming menus. Having the menu in front of you will allow you to look at the items being served and see if they require a particular supply. In our example, we are ordering supplies for January 3rd through 9th. Let's look at the menu and see what is being served those days. On week 2, Monday, which is being served on January 7th, you can see we are serving nacho cheese dip. Nacho cheese dip is served in black 5-ounce bowls, which are placed onto a 5-compartment tray. We will need to make sure we have enough black bowls on hand or order more black bowls to serve the cheese dip. We also know that every Monday we serve a garden side salad, which we place into 10-ounce styrofoam bowls. Once you have all those papers collected that we just talked about, it's time to start completing the supply order form. Start by filling out the on hand at the school column. List the items that are currently in your storeroom. This helps you figure out what needs to be ordered. When completing this column, include the items you just received today on that supply order, whether you've put them away or not. Once you have your on hand column completed, it is time to start completing the current supply order form. Go line by line, working your way down the supply order form. Look at the on hand at school column. Look at your supply order cheat sheet to see how many you need to order each day of the week. Look at the order being delivered next week to see if you have any of that particular supply arriving. Look at the menu for the supply usage dates. Are there any menu items that need special supplies or condiments? Let's talk about a specific example. For 5-ounce black bowls, the school has 3 cases on hand, which includes the delivery we just received today. On next week's delivery, we see that they are receiving 1 case of black bowls. On their supply order cheat sheet, we can see that they need 0.14 cases of black bowls a day. We need to look at the supply order sheet for the order that just arrived today, as well as the order sheet that will arrive next week. To determine how many to order, we need to do some math. Let's look at how to order black bowls. We can see that we need enough supplies to last us for the following dates: 12/6, 7, 10, 11, and 12, 12, 13, 14, 17, and 18, and 1/3, 1/4, 7, 8, and 9, for a total of 14 days. We know we need 0.14 cases of black bowls every day. Take 14 days times 0.14 cases to determine the amount of black bowls needed for 14 days. That equals 1.96 cases of bowls. We have 3 cases on hand in our storeroom currently. We are receiving 1 more case next week, according to that supply order. No cases of black bowls would be needed because we only need 1.96, but we have 3 on hand with another one on its way next week. Let's try another example. This time, let's order 5-compartment trays. 5-compartment trays come in a case of 240. Again, we need to look at the 3 supply orders, the ones we received today, the one we will receive next week, and the one we are working on. We can see that we need enough supplies to last us for the following dates: 12/6 through 1/9, for a total of 14 days. We know we need 0.98 cases of 5-compartment trays every day, according to our cheat sheet. Take 14 days times 0.98 cases to determine the amount of 5-compartment trays needed for 14 days. 14 times 0.98 equals 13.72 cases of 5-compartment trays. We have 6 cases on hand in our storeroom currently. That includes today's delivery. We are receiving 4 more cases next week, according to that supply order. Therefore, we will have a total of 10 cases available. You need to remember the math we just did. We needed 13.72 cases of trays to get us through those 14 days. We need 13.72, but have 10 on hand. So 13.72 minus 10 equals 3.72. Therefore, we need 4 cases of trays to be ordered. If you don't need a supply, you can place 0 on the line or leave it blank. Once you have completed the supply order form, fax the supply order form to 973-2113 on the due date indicated on the form. If by chance you have enough items on hand to last you through the next supply order, and therefore your school does not need supplies, the supply order form is to be sent in with "No supplies needed" written across the form. If by chance you forgot to fill out a supply order form, or a supply order form was not received by the FPC, the school will be sent a flyer in the coal cabinet notifying them that they will only receive the following items on the next delivery. If the Food Production Center warehouse was out of stock on a supply ordered by the school will be notified by a flyer in the coal cabinet. A flyer will be sent to notify schools of the outage until the supply is back in stock. Schools will continue to reorder the out-of-stock supply. On your supply order day, you should receive a shipment of supplies. You need to check to make sure you received what you ordered. Do this by gathering up your supply order for today's delivery date, as well as the pick tickets listing the items that were delivered today. Look at your supply order and compare it to the pick tickets as well as supplies delivered. For example, if you ordered 5 cases of 3-compartment trays, you need to ensure the pick ticket states 5 cases, and 5 cases were indeed delivered. If you are missing an item that you ordered but did not receive a flyer saying the item was out of stock, call FPC so they can assist you.
Hotshots create a lot of work that involves several people. What happens if you forget to order enough lunch trays and lunch starts in 20 minutes? Well, here's an example. Here is a hotshot chain reaction. First, you notice you're out of lunch trays. So, you call FPC for a hotshot. FPC clerk answers the phone. The FPC clerk hears that you're out of lunch trays, and they create a hotshot in the computer and print out the order. They have to run that order down and give it to the distribution tech. The distribution tech notifies the warehouse clerk. The warehouse staff gathers the trays, and they bring it back to FPC, all while FPC finds a driver to take the hotshot delivery. The driver delivers the tray to your school, and then you get it in time for lunch. So how do you avoid running out? The absolute first way is to remember to complete the supply order. Refer to your calendar. It tells you when to complete the supply orders, when they're due. If you forget, call FPC to see if you can complete it the next day. They may be able to allow you a grace day. Another tip, pay attention to how many days you are ordering for on a supply order. Most of the time it's 5 days, but sometimes it is more or less. Next, ensure the fax machine gives you or the secretary a confirmation beep or a printout like on this picture. If you have problems with the fax machine, let FPC know and they can help you make other arrangements. Another tip, as you grab items from your storage area, pay attention. If you see you are short on trays, think to yourself when the next supply day occurs and if your current stock will make it through that day. If you absolutely need an item, it is okay every so often. Lastly, If you don't understand the supply order form, are running low on supplies often, or feel like you are constantly calling FPC to send you more items, tell your supervisor. We are here to help and we will come work with you.